Hey, my name's Fernando Martinez, driver of the El Toro Loco, and you're listening to the Rodcast.
What's going on, everybody? Project Rod here, and welcome to the Rodcast, the Monster Truck Fanatic podcast, which is your ultimate destination for all things monster trucks, whether you're a diehard Monster Jam fan, a passionate follower of the sport, or just an avid player of the Monster Jam or monster truck related video games. This is the podcast for you. Once again, I'm your host, Project Rod, and today is episode 23 of the Rodcast. And before I go any further with today's episode, I just want to give a huge shout out and a very huge thank you to April Summers for getting me that intro to the Rodcast from Fernando Martinez, the driver of El Toro Loco. So a very, very huge thank you and a huge shout out to April, who's been with the channel for a very long time in multiple competitions and future more to come. So again, very huge thank you to her. Very huge thank you to Fernando Martinez for I guess agreeing to do that. And yeah, now I got one for Showdown. Thanks to Angel Garcia, I got Ryan Anderson to do an introduction for that. And now I got Fernando Martinez here on the Rodcast, so it's just great. It's super exciting. You know, we've come a long way since episode 1 and since the start of the channel. So it's just exciting. I like it. It's great. So again, huge thank you to April, and we'll continue with the episode. It'll most likely be a short one, as honestly, I've just, with everything going on, with all these projects that I'm currently working on, I just really want to improve the channel and bring out more stuff for more content for you guys. So I've been really dead set or more focused on getting editing done and getting all these other projects aligned. So honestly, the Rodcast, not to say it's been on the back burner, but it's been on the back burner, especially with guests and stuff. It's just, I'm so sucked into other things and I want to get those things taken care of. But of course, I don't want to stop the Rodcast. It's a great way to stay, to keep you guys updated, to get, you know, results and all that stuff out. And it gives me a chance to just yap for a little while. So don't expect the Rodcast to go away. Just hopefully eventually, once I get a little more caught up and some of these projects into motion, I can definitely put more time into the Rodcast and get you those longer episodes with guests and everything. So anyways, last week for the Showdown Champions League, we had quite a show in Death Valley. It was the midway point of the season, and for once, Matt Johnson and Max D. Well, here I'll. It's nothing too crazy, but I'll wait until I get through it. It was a good one. It was a good one. Of course, no secret to anybody or to everybody. Matt Johnson and Max D was your fastest qualifier, as this track was actually really easy. We only had one, if I'm not mistaken, one penalty, and then one driver who was unable to finish one of their attempts, and that was Velociraptor, who was the first truck out, who unfortunately kind of spun out on the final turn and kind of got out of bounds, hit the wall, and just stayed there. Honestly, there was really no point in continuing that attempt. So he got a DNF for that one, but he didn't get a time for his first run. Blue Thunder and Riley Strider was the only driver who did get a penalty. I don't remember. I'm trying to think back. It was very minor. Again, nothing too crazy in qualifying. Matt Johnson, Max D getting his third fastest qualifying win, if you will, in a row. And then the top four with him were Northern Nightmare, Dragon, and Alien Invasion, who all got bye runs into round 2. And then after that followed Blue Thunder, Avenger, Velociraptor, Crush Station, Gravedigger, and Pirate's Curse. Once again, no secret to anybody. But Jurassic Attack and Zombie were not a part of this competition, as they are no longer a part of the series as a whole. They were unable to fulfill their driving duties, so they are done. So that just kind of fills in, and I do mention that during qualifying, where honestly at this point, being the top 6 fastest qualifiers give you a leg up, because the top 4 automatically get a bye run into round 2, but the 5th and 6th fastest qualifiers, they end up just getting bye runs or bypass. I don't know what you want to call it, but they just take a lap in round 1 to get familiar with the track, get a time on the board, but they obviously automatically advance into round 2. I didn't want to overcomplicate things. I didn't want to have to switch the racing bracket and do all this craziness at this point in the game. It was easier to just continue things as normal and try not to make any substantial changes. So we left it at that. When it came to racing, we started off with Gravedigger against Crush Station, where Crush Station came out on top. Then we had Blue Thunder against who would have been Zombie, but again, him getting the bye run into round 2. Same thing with Avenger, marked to race Jurassic Attack, but Avenger getting the bye run into round 2. And then to finish round 1, we had Velociraptor against Pirate's Curse, which Velociraptor came out on top. Into round 2, we had Max D and Crush Station, which Maximum Destruction came out on top. No secret to anybody at this point. This dude has been on fire all season long, and he's been on the same streak, that Black Pearl was going into Stop 3. Which Stop 3, if you guys all know, Black Pearl, that's where his racing streak was snapped. So we were kind of waiting to see if that's what was going to happen here with Max D, but I'll let you know as we continue on. Alien Invasion would race Blue Thunder, where Alien Invasion would come out on top. Dragon would race Avenger, where Dragon would come out on top. And Northern Nightmare would race Velociraptor, where Northern Nightmare would come out on top. So our 4 fastest qualifiers were our 4 drivers in the semifinals, where Max D and Alien Invasion would race, and it would be, looking at it, never mind, it would not be a close race, as Max D continued being stupid fast and taking a win over Alien Invasion, and then Dragon would win over Northern Nightmare, where Northern Nightmare would have a penalty. However, the penalty would not matter. Dragon would have beat him either way, so the penalty wasn't the cause of the loss anyways. So he was he would have won that regardless. So moving on to the final round, we had Max D versus Dragon, where everybody kind of had their eyes on Max D to see if he would lose. Again, given that back in Stop 3 of Tor Blue, that was where Black Pearl's racing streak, undefeated streak, unfortunately was broken. But Matt Johnson and Max D, I guess, is built different, because this guy got his 3rd racing win in a row, so he continues to be undefeated and extending that streak. So 3-time fastest qualifier, 3-time racing winner, back to back to back. And we have 2 more competitions, or 2 more stops left in this season, so I'm curious to see if any of that will change as we progress. A huge milestone to Matt Johnson, or for Matt Johnson, so huge congrats to him. Moving on to best trick now. We had some great attempts. I mean, honestly, this is one of the better tracks in Death Valley, and honestly should have been one for World Finals, but it is what it is. Maybe we can swap that out in future seasons. But great attempts all the way around. Velociraptor coming out with a fantastic score of a 9.041, so right off the bat coming out really hot and putting out a fantastic score. Pirate's Curse right behind him, just barely beating him out with a 9.196. Then you had Gravedigger, Gravedigger, Crustacean, Blue Thunder. We didn't see a score change until Dragon and Arcanine 59 came out and got a 9.496. Then Northern Nightmare and Max D followed suit, but this is where one of Matt Johnson's streaks were broken, because Matt Johnson and Max D already had back-to-back skills or best trick wins in Stop 1 and 2, so this would have been 3 out of 3, just like fastest qualifier and racing. But unfortunately, he did not get the best trick win in Death Valley, as that went to Dragon and Arcanine 59. So at least Dragon wasn't able to snap the racing streak, but he was able to snap the best trick streak. So he was on top with a 9.496, and I'm gonna go down the leaderboards from here. So it was Dragon, and then Maximum Destruction of Matt Johnson, which, I mean, he was right there. He could have gotten it, but was just shy. Then after that was Northern Nightmare, Pirate's Curse, Alien Invasion, Velociraptor, Avenger, Blue Thunder, Gravedigger, and Crush Station. So, again, huge shout out to Dragon and Arcanine 59 for getting that win and being able to snap that streak that Matt Johnson had. But again, 2 more stops left in the season, so who knows? We'll see what happens and see if Matt Johnson can continue going on this impressive tear that he is going on. But to wrap things up in Death Valley at Stop 3 of Tor Blue, we had Freestyle, where we had a lot of amazing runs. I mean, right off the bat, again, Velociraptor coming out, putting on a huge score of 9.146. Great run from Pirate's Curse and Gravedigger to follow suit. Crush Station, Nova Strider putting on an amazing freestyle, unfortunately just shy of Velociraptor score, she had an 8.957, but honestly a fantastic run for her, as well as Blue Thunder. Then we had Avenger. We did not have a score change until Alien Invasion came out, and just barely, I mean by a small amount of points, defeating Velociraptor. Velociraptor had a 9.146. Alien Invasion came out and threw out a 9.153. But unfortunately, it was short-lived, as Dragon came out after getting that best trick win and getting a 9.168. But then, right after Dragon, was Northern Nightmare and Daniel Murray with a 9.346. So, just by little increments, everybody was taking the lead. But then Matt Johnson and Max D came out, which unfortunately, this has been the only competition that he has not yet been able to win. And he ended up scoring an 8.629, which gave Northern Nightmare and Daniel Murray his first win of the season, his first freestyle win of the season, which is one that he's been after since he's been so close to getting it before. So, huge shout out to Daniel Murray and Northern Nightmare getting that win. And we're going to go down the list in order from 1st to 10th, which we had Northern Nightmare, of course, in first. Then Dragon, then Alien Invasion, Velociraptor, Gravedigger, Crush Station, Avenger, Blue Thunder, Maximum Destruction, and Pirate's Curse. All in that order. When it was all said and done, it was Dragon snapping that overall championship streak that Matt Johnson had going on. So he was the overall event champion with 44 points. Northern Nightmare had 42, and Matt Johnson and Max D had 39 points. Those were your top three in the overall event championship. So Northern Nightmare still chasing that overall event championship, but unfortunately wasn't able to get it this time around, even though he got a freestyle win. So huge congrats on that. But the overall event championship is still one that he's been after, because he's been at the heels of Matt Johnson and Max D, and this time around, unfortunately, he was at the heels of Dragon. So great event overall, fantastic event. Saw a couple of streaks broken for Matt Johnson and Max D, but hey, it is what it is. You can't win them all, and I mean, he still has an amazing record so far in racing and qualifying, and just in overall points. I mean, dude has been insane. So going into events 4 of these series, he has again quite a substantial lead over everybody, and stop 4 of the season is going to be a big one. And we're going to be going back to Colorado. Yes, we're going to be going back to Colorado, and it's going to be a shorter track as always. Colorado is tends to be shorter, faster tracks. So looking forward to that, as the trucks Tour Violet return to Colorado, as well as Tour Blue returning to Colorado for stop 4 here today, actually. But before I talk about Tour Blue, let's go over the leaderboards for Tour Violet at the end of this last event. So, of course, Matt Johnson and Max D on top with 139 points. Northern Nightmare in second with 126. Dragon, 114. Alien Invasion, 99. Avenger, 82. Blue Thunder, 80. Gravedigger, 66. Velociraptor, 63. Pirate's Curse, 59. And Crush Station with 53 points. The only change in this leaderboard was Velociraptor moving up to 8th place and Pirate's Curse moving down to 9th place in the overall leaderboards. So that's it for Tour Violet. Looking forward to their stop in Colorado, stop 4 in Colorado next week. As again, today we will be in Colorado for Tour Blue for their fourth stop. And that's going to be another big one to look at. So looking at the leaderboards for Tour Blue, once it's all said and done, going in to Colorado, of course, Megalodon's still on top, still hanging on to that lead with 115 points. Black Pearl in second with 100. Lucas Stabilizer in third with 81. And then you got Brutus with 76. Gravedigger the Legend 65. Monster Mutt Dalmatian 62. Son of a Digger 55. Monster Mutt 53. And El Toro Loco 32. Again, higher education no longer being a part of that competition, as he is unable to fulfill his driving duty. So there's now 9 drivers instead of 10 in Tour Blue. So really looking forward to stop 4 again. They will be in Colorado, returning for a second time, and again, it's going to be a shorter track as it always is in Colorado. It's going to be a great one, I'm sure. So let me know down below who you think is going to be the fastest qualifier today, and honestly, go ahead and hit me with them all. Who's going to be the fastest qualifier, racing winner, best trick winner, and freestyle winner, of course, our overall event champion. Let me know. And we'll see if there will be a shift in the leaderboards, as again, Black Pearl is still just 15 points shy of Megalodon. But again, 2 more stops, 8 competitions in total before the end of the season. So there's plenty of opportunity to catch up at this point. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. So again, looking forward to that. And again, premiering today at 4 p.m. Central Time on YouTube will be Stop 4 of Tour Blue. So that's it for the Showdown Champions League. More news for the future of the Showdown Champions League. I mentioned this in the server. Nothing was really said. Me and Matt Johnson kind of went back and forth a little. Not back and forth, but like we talked about it a little bit. But for Season 2, given the outcome of Season 1 and the changes with drivers and whatnot, I've made the decision so far that Season 2 will now consist of 16 total drivers, 8 in one tour, 8 in another, just for the purpose of, the initial goal for Season 1 was 24 drivers, 12 and 12. Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to fill 24 spots. I only filled 22, only to end up with 19. So I went from 12 and 12 to 12 and 10, which was working out, but then now that 12 and 10 turned into 10 and 9. And I'm hoping for Season 2, we won't really have any dropouts or anything. That was really kind of the issue with Season 1. But I just, aside from, drivers and making sure everybody submits and I'm not having any drops or whatever, it kind of makes it a little easier to manage. I'm also looking at editing and video length. And I want to be able to kind of not fly through these seasons more, but hopefully combine some of these videos to where we can get to it faster. Maybe we have 2 stops in 1 week, and the season, instead of lasting 11 weeks, it'll last, 5-6 weeks, kind of cutting it in half, where I can do like racing and qualifying, 1 video, best trick and freestyle, and another video or something. So instead of 4 total videos, it's 2 videos, and it kind of condenses it. But with it being 8 trucks, it's not going to be crazy long. So kind of a thought, kind of something I'm putting out there. Let me know what you guys, what your thoughts are. But that's kind of what I'm leaning at right now. That's what I'm doing with the Steel Titans Champions League, is that it's 8 and 8 trucks. That way the competitions are a lot shorter, the videos are shorter, and I can kind of pump them out more. And just kind of saves me some time on editing, especially since I have a lot of changes right now in personal life with work, more responsibilities, and just a lot more work that I'm not able to really dedicate as much time as I'd like to the videos. Not to say that they're going to stop completely and I'm not able to do any at all, but I had a lot more time before than I do now, so I want to kind of make sure I have that balance between the two. So just putting that out there. So Season 2, be on a lookout for that there's going to be changes in the lineup where it's going to be 16 total trucks, 8 and 8 in each tour going forward, and then maybe like 12 trucks for World Finals or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out, but that's pretty much it for the Showdown Champions League. Steel Titans 2 Champions League, that's currently in the works. Again, we have our drivers picked out. We have the lineups picked out. Tour Blue, Tour Black, and Tour Yellow. So black and yellow. 8 trucks in each one. Got the tracks lined up. Got all the drivers lined up. And competitions lined up and all that. So just waiting on everyone to submit their clips. They have their deadlines. And if deadlines aren't met, then we'll have to find replacements, so we don't run into any issues that we did with Steel Titans or with Showdown League. So I would expect videos for those mid to late April, probably, when we get that started. I'd like to at least get a good collection of videos edited and ready for upload before I start uploading, because sometimes I bite off more than I can chew and I start uploading, and then I'm over here like, oh my god, the next stop is in like 2 days and I only have 2 videos edited, and this is like I end up kind of putting more on myself than I need to be because of poor planning and everything. So I want to get at least a good amount of videos edited and ready to go before I start uploading. So that's the plan for the Steel Titans Champions League. But that's ready to go. The Diecast League, that is getting a lot closer to coming into fruition, because the teams have been selected. We were going to have the Discord League and the YouTube League, and I finally, after going through the entire fleet of diecasts that I have for this league, I posted a picture on Discord, and it's a ton. that I have for the Diecast League only. That's only a fraction of my entire collection, but those are all the trucks that I have picked out for the Diecast League, and I think it was like 90 or 91 total. And out of those, I had to pick out 32 to have 16 in each league. So that was tough to do, but I finally did. We have our teams ready. So I don't want to spoil anything, as I want to make sure everybody has a fair shake and sign up. So hopefully that'll be soon. I have the rules just about figured out now. It's just track layout. And if I want to switch it up every time, if I want to make it the same every time, that way there's consistency. And yeah, so that's coming here pretty soon. It's a lot easier to do like Showdown and Steel Titans, because it's just recording gameplay and editing it together as the Diecast League. The Diecast League is just going to be, it's a lot of setup and cleanup, and there's just more into recording that there is, the Showdown League and all that. So just give me some time and it'll be out pretty soon. So excited for that. Other news, nothing really that I can think of. That's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy. Be on the lookout for a new affiliation that I'm going to be having with a product, I guess, if you will. Something else that I'm going to be, I guess you could say they're going to be a sponsor of mine. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know exactly how that works, but keep an eye out for that. Again, these kinds of partnerships help support the channel and help fund all this stuff and, production value and all that. So hopefully with more of these coming in, I know a lot of people don't like sponsors or don't like ads and stuff, but just be mindful that, it does help out the channel. It does help me out. And, it helps with production value, and it helps me be able to, I guess, get some more bells and whistles for the channel to just make it a little better. So just be on the lookout for that. I'm sorry if you'll see an ad every now and then. Just please bear with me. Please help me out here, as I'd like to again use those opportunities to help grow the channel and be able to bring out more content for you guys, and more better content to you guys. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap that up here. I'm gonna finish with the common question of the day, which I'm trying to go through it now, because we had quite a boost of some on the Discord, at least. So I'm trying to go through and see which one was the most recent. But let me see. I've gone through. I'm sorry. We're doing all this in one take, ladies and gentlemen. So excuse the I guess the, what is it? The unorganization. But here we go. This is the one that I wanted to do. Angel Garcia. He asked, what's the worst experience you've had at a Monster Jam event, if you're comfortable sharing? Which I haven't had a horrible experience at a event. I mean, all the events I've been to have been fantastic, but I will share this one, and I'll go through it really quickly. I did have this one experience where, back in the day, back when, NRG was Reliant and all that, I don't think online ticket sales were a thing, and if it was more so of a luxury than anything. I mean, I don't remember having a computer with internet until I was a lot older. So, you'd show up, get in line, buy tickets. And, of course, back then, I mean, yeah, they always say Monster Jam is selling out and everything now, but you'll see a lot of empty seats. But back then when Monster Jam was honestly in its prime, with the crush cars and the RVs and the buses and, all the crazy carnage and wheels breaking off, and they'll still continue. I mean, we all know where I'm going with that, but back then, I mean, they were literally selling out the stadium where there was not a single empty seat. So we had showed up, me and my family, and you'd have people selling tickets in the parking lots and stuff. But even then, like, none of them were there. That's how crazy this show was and how packed it was. So we finally made it in line. Took forever to get to the window, only to find out, hey man, we're sold out. There are no tickets left. And I was so devastated, because somehow I knew that Batman was going to be there, and I specifically remember Batman. I can't tell you the other trucks, but I know Batman was going to be there, and I hadn't seen him yet. So I was so excited to see Batman. And I think it was Batman and Superman. I don't know, but I remember for a fact it was 100% Batman. And unfortunately, again, it was sold out, and I was like 10 at the time, and I was so devastated. I mean, I went home crying, and my parents will still bring it up every now and then. Like, we'll be talking about Monster Jam or going, and they'll be like, oh, remember that time we took you and they didn't have tickets and you went home crying? I'm like, yes, don't remind me. You know, like, oh, I hated that. I was so upset. And I remember my sister went to school that following Monday, and her teacher was talking about how he went, how he saw Batman in this truck and that truck, and it was so great. It was such a good show. And that, you know, she came home and told me, she was like, yeah, I told him, like, you know, how dare you? You're the reason my brother couldn't go in there and watch the show that day. So that, honestly, that's like the worst experience I ever had at an actual show. Every single show has been fantastic, and I've never had an experience that you know, left a bad taste in my mouth or anything. So that's it. If that counts towards the question, that's it. And I'll extend that question to you guys. If you want to share, if you want to, you know, if you want to be open about that, let me know what your worst experience was at a Monster Jam, or really a monster truck show in general. Be sure to share that down below, and we can start a conversation, or maybe I can mention it in the next episode. But that's it. That's all I have for today. Again, huge shout out to April Summers for that new intro for the Rodcast. Thank you so much. And Tor Blue, stop for today, 4 p.m. Central Time on YouTube. Be sure to check that out, as we'll see if there's any shifts this week in the leaderboards for Tor Blue. Steel Titans 2 Champions League coming out in the next month and a half, hopefully. And the Diecast League will be coming out here pretty soon as well. So thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I couldn't do what I do without you. And I mean that. I have a lot of fun doing this. I have a lot of fun talking to every single one of you and meeting new people, as well as getting new people on the server. We had some new people join the server here over the weekend, so huge thank you to them. And again, that's all I got for today, guys. I'm Project Rod, and I'll see you in the next one.